NFL Week 7 is upon us, and in this video, I have 5 plays, including a long shot parlay. Then I have 60 seconds to try to convince you guys to bet on them if you are new. My name is Austin. Thank you as always for tuning in. We had a dynamite Thursday night, bringing out the brooms, and hopefully we can continue that going into Sunday as well as Monday Night Football, where we again have a doubleheader. Yeah, let's just lock things in, man. We had a great day. It included this parlay cash, and why not kick off the video with our first pick being a long shot parlay? That sound good to you guys? Here we go. Drum roll, please. Boom. First pick of the day. 3 players, both 100, all 3 100 yards, plus 2,500 on Fanatics. It is Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, and Bijan Robinson, all for 100 plus rushing yards. I want to say we're in the 1, 4, and then Sunday Night Football with Bijan. So we get to sweat out one leg per window, and hopefully we can cash this puppy. Again, only playing this for 0.1 units, so nothing, crazy, but would yield back about 2.5 units. I did look at other books. They're right around these same odds, around plus 2,000 to plus 2,500. Fanatics had the best odds, so we'll roll with it there. But again, let's talk about all these 3 guys real quick. 60 seconds, start my timer. Saquon Barkley, this is, I would argue, a make or break game for him. He's going up against the Vikings, a team that has struggled against his specific run scheme. And I mean, this is a team coming off 2 straight losses on that Thursday night, mini bye week, if you will. I think Saquon gets it going. Spoiler alert, I'm on his over in rush attempts. Then Jonathan Taylor, I'll also spoil one of my props from a previous video. I'm on his 100 plus. I think he has a big day. Chargers really struggling against the run. A great pass defense. We know Jonathan Taylor is about running it better than anyone else in football. I trust him. And then we wrap it up with Bijan Robinson. If you want to be safer, you'd go rush and receiving yards, but we saw what Bijan did last week on Monday Night Football. We know how dynamite he is with just breaking one play off for 80 yards. And that's, again, a scheme's fit for him. Zone runs are absolutely demolishing the 49ers, who are now down Bosa and Fred Warner. So, again, we will roll with it. 0.1 unit, first pick of the day. Second pick, we're going to put this in this video because hopefully you noticed it by now, but it will be day 10 of the ladder challenge. Yeah, we have a $5,000 bet this weekend to win back 10 grand, 100 units on the line. And that is the ladder. If you missed my YouTube short, which I posted Friday evening, this is the ladder play. I talk about the every single leg in that video. I know a lot of people are not liking Rome Odunze or Jamison Williams or Jordan Addison. I'm not too worried about that. We spent many, many hours cooking up this one. These are our most confident pass catchers this weekend. Saw some running backs we like Saquon and stuff, but their lines are requiring them for 50 plus yards. So we rather not involve them. Again, we're trying to complete the ladder challenge once and for all. Turn our $10 into 10 grand. That would be electric. And we're going to try to get it done this weekend. Hopefully you guys are tailing. If not, you should. Let's get on in there. Finally, let's dive into a couple more player prompts. We have one for the London game as well at the end of the video. A reminder, if you are new, we do have a Dub Club service where we offer some extra exclusive picks. This week, if you want to look at the VIP card right now, it is at least 2 player props for 1 unit pop. I also have some first quarter props posted Sunday morning, as well as a long shot parlay using some of the boost tokens that the books will give out. Again, it's only $10. So get on in there. You can split out the ladder. The ladder is going to be an absolute sweat with the community. Get on in there. You get all these video plays early. It also supports the channel. $10 for the first month. It's normally $15, so nothing too unaffordable. Get on in there. All right, let's dive into some plays. We'll start with a mini ladder. Start with J.K. Dobbins. I like his over 61.5 rushing yards, which is minus 110 on Bet365. I also took him for 80 plus at plus 215. This is a 0.75 unit for the first leg, only a quarter unit for the second. Identical to how we played T. Higgins on Thursday Night Football. A little bit more on the regular line. And then if he wants to have a big day, we'll want to make some on the back end with J.K. Dobbins getting us to 80 plus. You go higher if you want, and I probably would if R.J. Harvey didn't exist. But let's talk about J.K. Dobbins. You can start my timer. I only get 60 seconds. Dobbins will be at home here taking on the Giants, and I think this is an A-plus matchup for him to get going. This is a Giants team that has struggled to stop the run, and they could be down Abdul Carter, arguably one of their best defensive linemen. But if you look at Dobbins, he has 63 rush yards going over this line in 5 of 6 games, 75 or more in 4 of 6 games. Now, he has only hit the 80 platoon mark in only 2 of 6, but again, he's finished twice with 76 and 79 yards. So again, he's right there. If that's what happens, whatever. We'll take the 0.75 unit gain minus the quarter unit. But like I said, the Giants are allowing the 11th most rush yards per game, 8th highest explosive run rate. And if what they've really struggled in is man gap running scheme. The Giants are allowing 6.11 yards to man gap schemes. And what do you know? J.K. Dobbins, that's almost exclusively what the Broncos and him run. So again, they're struggling against the run scheme. I think J.K. Dobbins has a big day. There's a Giants, a cornerback room secondary that's actually playing decently well. And based on what I saw last week from Bo Nix, who's not really throwing the ball too well, let's not get cute here and just start chucking it. Let's let J.K. Dobbins and company manhandle this defensive line for the Giants. Obviously, you want to slow down guys like Spida Burns. I like Dobbins. Give him to me 61.5 as well as 80 plus. Every book was around those lines. They're around 61 to 63.5. Obviously, like him up to whatever line you want. He's normally pretty consistent at hitting that. Let's get on to another player prop, and it's going to be an under. And you guys are going to hate this under, and this under might move in the wrong way for me and maybe go to a higher line. I still like it. Achane, under 68.5 rushing yards, minus 109 on DraftKings, a 1-unit play. I already see the comments. Austin, but it's raining. It's very windy. They're going to have to run it. I understand that. There's a reason. You think the books don't know that? I really do like this under. Let's talk with Achane now. Achane's just not a guy that is run a ton between the tackles. They normally get him out on the outside. And if you're going to be running between the tackles, I think we could see Ollie Gordon maybe see an uptick in this game. And let's just call it what it is. This is the worst matchup you could possibly get against a Browns team that has guys like Myles Garrett that can blow up those outside runs for negative yards. And if this wouldn't be rain and windy, don't you think you're going to see the Browns load the box? I think so. And so at the end of the day, I like HN. We backed him last week for his rushing and receiving yards and he cashed, but he played the Chargers then. This is a much tougher matchup. The only guy that has hit this over and got even close to it was Jahmyr Gibbs, and he went over against the Browns. Jahmyr Gibbs does not, Devon HN does not have the same offensive line that Jahmyr Gibbs does have. And I could see the Browns winning this game. The fact they're favored, and they've sucked. They're favored, and they're still, I could see maybe them leading here, maybe get some Tua throwing. I like Devon Achne's over in receptions, honestly, because I think they could just swing it out to him out wide, but I don't like the over in yards. I'm fading him. Give me his under, 68.5 rush yards. I know it's rainy. I know it can be really windy. I don't care. I think if it is those conditions, you see more Ollie Gordon, and maybe you see some more 2 running back sets where Ollie and Devon Achane are out there, and it's more handoffs to Ollie up the middle, and then maybe Devon Achane to try to swing it out wide to him. The only negative here is if they swing it out wide and it's a backwards pass, that would be painful. But again, that's what you take with it. 68.5, the highest line I've seen for Achane this year, and for a good reason. I'm fading him. Let's go to London. We're trying to cash this one. Last week in London, we had we had Bo Nix's under and interceptions. That cash got us off to a good start. Let's talk about Travis Etienne. I have 2 props for him, both the half unit. Over 14.5 rushing attempts and over 76.5 rushing plus receiving yards, both a half unit, both right around minus 110. When I bet them, the rush attempts was minus 119 on DraftKings, and the yards was minus 114 on FanDuel. So I can't really see, honestly, the rush attempts changing from 14.5. The yards goes up or down. I don't mind it. I think he could easily go above 80 plus. Let's talk about Travis Etienne. Like I said, he's in London, and he's facing a Rams defense that has been good at limiting explosive runs. But we're not asking Travis Etienne to be explosive and get, 100 yards on one carry. We're asking him to get some chunk plays. And that's kind of what I want from him, because we don't rush attempts. You kind of need some chunk gains where he's running the ball well, getting 6-8 yards per carry, and the Jags are leaning in on the run. But again, he's been pretty good, and we've seen running backs have pretty good days against the Rams. We saw in week 2, Mr. Tony Pollard had 20 rush attempts, 92 rushing receiving yards. Week 3, Barkley, 18 rushes for 55 rushing receiving yards. But again, they had just seen Saquon like 3 times in a row. And then you had Jonathan Taylor, 17 rushes for 96. CMC, 22 for 139. And last week, Derrick Henry, 24 rush attempts, even in a game that his team got smoked in the second half, 130 rushing receiving yards. So again, running backs have had good success against them. Last week, we saw Trevor Lawrence attempt 42 passes. And I know Liam Cohen does like to throw the football. He's not one to throw the football with Trevor Lawrence 42 times, and especially let this Rams D-line tee off. And we know how good the Rams are getting pressure. I think you start with the ground game early in this one. I don't mind a Travis Etienne, maybe a Q1 prop, but he normally sometimes doesn't get going early in games, but I think he does this weekend. I really like his overs. I like his over in rush attempts and his over in rush and receiving yards. He's clearly handled in the backfield. Last week in a terrible game script, he handled 12 of the 15 running back rush attempts. I think he once again dominates the field here, and they have a bye week next week. So no reason to ease it up on Travis Etienne. He's got a bye week. If you want to run him into the ground, you certainly can. I love his overs on Sunday morning. And then finally, we end the video with a Underdog fantasy entry. I do want to put a reminder out there. We do have a separate video for some touchdown parlays, my touchdown parlay, and some more player props. But let's talk about Underdog fantasy. We've been smacking these entries left and right. A reminder, if you sign up using my code COS, which I certainly would appreciate, you sign up using my code COS, they will give you, you just got to play $5. I mean, that's pretty sweet. You get $100 in bonus funds. I would argue this is the best offer that's right now out there. So if you're going to sign up for any, daily fantasy app, you can sign up for all the other ones that I have links for down below. But the Underdog one is pretty dang good. Make sure you use code COS so you get that. Again, here are all the states that Underdog is available in. If it's in your state, just saying, you should probably get involved. Let's talk about my Underdog slip. Here we go. Achane, a cool thing about Underdog, you can raise lines. I took him up to 79.5. Even if he goes over my 68.5, he's going under 79.5. Ted McMillan, terrible matchup. He's getting shadowed by Sauce Gardner, like his less than 5.5 receptions there. CeeDee Lamb, look at that one, 2.5 in the first half. I think they find a way to get CeeDee Lamb. Not sure I'll play his Q1 prop, but I think eventually CeeDee Lamb's getting the ball early, or at least sometime in that first half with a 54.5 total. And then J.K. Dobbins, we like his more than there at 62.5 rush yards, 5.36 extra money, and that is how you get it done. Again, you can sign up using my code COS, play $5, get $100 in bonus funds. Let's have a weekend, people. Big weekend. Big week 7. Again, there's a couple videos linked on the screen. One will be day 10 of the ladder challenge. You can see me talk about each leg. The other one will be, we'll have the other props and parlays video. The other one is the game picks video. A lot of stuff going down. And then Monday Night Football, we'll have 2 videos for that. And then Tuesday, the start of the NBA. Again, thanks for tuning in. It's Austin. Hopefully you've been making some money with us, and I'll see you guys back in future videos. Go check out those other ones on the screen. Let's have a weekend. Let's not miss a pick this week. How about that? See you in the next one. Peace.